Aloha.
Aloha. We are all connected with each other and with the entire universe. We are part of this natural worldwide web.
It is our birthright to have a deep connection with each other, with the earth, nature, elemental beings, the angelic beings, to receive healing and support in our transformational journey. My name is Eunjung Choi. I originally grew up in South Korea and I live in Kauai, Hawaii with my Eve.
And my name is Yves Nager. I grew up in Switzerland and now also living on the beautiful garden island of Kauai together with my own children.
So we are extremely happy, excited, and honored to be part of this Awake TV network.
Yes, and we are really looking forward to be on this journey with you and so many other teachers and this community as we will travel along over this 12 weeks and actually during this time, even going in the year 2020. I can't believe that this year 2020 is so near and just 20 years ago it sounded so futuristic and
Yes.
now we are about to embark on this journey during this very crucial time on earth. There are so many challenges and obstacles we perceive in the world around us, the way the world is portrayed to us in media, the way we witness certain things in as we go through life, and as we come to this point of awakening, we also notice there are a lot of obstacles and challenges within us. We have to constantly work upon, but we believe by being together on this journey and being part also of this Awake TV network, we really can support each other and create together a better version of ourselves and ultimately a better planet to live upon.
Mhm. And since I was little, I was very fascinated by the worlds, the beyond what we can see with our eyes. So I would imagine talking to imaginary friends. I would see these beings who are living in the attic, these small people, fairies. And my favorite place to live, it was my imaginary mansion, which is a dome covered with roses. And the special thing about this rose dome was it had so many rooms inside and housed every being who has ever lived on this planet. And I was so interested in asking questions. So I had this magic wand and I would go to this room with the full of pictures and I would swirl this magic wand and I would talk to a person that I wanted to ask questions to. So that was my childhood, full of imagination and magic. And later I moved to the States to study, and many synchronistic events occurred. One of the things was the first Reiki session I had. The friend who gave me Reiki session told me that my life would completely change within a year. I didn't quite believe her, but actually my life turned very different than I expected. I moved to Colorado from California and I started to learn this Korean, uh, ancient Korean Jigong. I practiced this energetic exercise for about a year and it completely activated my energy channels in my body. And through this experience and practice, one day I started to speak in different languages, and I started to receive messages from, later I learned, from my guides. So this experience really first started me. I didn't know what was happening, but I continued to research, and I started to take different classes like Reiki and crystal work and angel work and how to communicate with these beings from other dimensions, and I became very comfortable. So I remembered how I was when I was little, talking to all these beings in this rose mansion. So since then, I really started my own spiritual awakening. And in 2007, I went to Egypt, which was another pivotal moment in my journey of transformation. So many amazing discoveries I experienced about myself and what I really meant to do on this planet. So that started on my quest to visit all the sacred sites on the planet. So I kept following my guidance and kept going to different vortex sites and sacred sites, and I ended up traveling to over 40 countries. And that's where I was led to meet with my husband, Yves, here sitting with me today.
I grew up in Switzerland, and I'm really blessed that I was born into a family, to have parents who chose to live very close to a forest. So as long as I can remember, uh, I grew up very close to forests, to nature, and like Eunjung had her imaginary friends in her house. My 2 years younger brother and I, and sometimes with friends, we used to play in the forest. And right where we grew up in the forest, just about 300 meters away from the house, there was this little spring and a little creek, and we just were playing there for hours and redirecting the water and building trails for these elemental beings. And sometimes I think we imagined them, sometimes we literally played with them. So this connection to nature was something which was always a very important part of my life. But although I was growing up in nature, you could think this was very healthy lifestyle. I had a lot of health challenges as a child from a very young age on. A lot of challenges with my health. I had several surgeries, and I think this connection to this spiritual realm really came during these times of surgeries, where especially with one surgery around the age of 12 or 13, I literally saw myself from outside looking down on my body, and I literally heard everything what these doctors and nurses who did the surgery on me were talking about. So I saw that as a witness from outside. And then on the way out, back to the room where I was supposed to wake up, I woke up too early. And that was it kind of felt like peaceful where I was. It was not scary. I didn't feel any pain. But that moment of coming back in the body, that was very harsh and very frightening. And starting from there, things really started to get a little bit strange and weird. And I mentioned the age of 12 and 13. That's the teenage years starts, and I started to feel like just like an alien on a wrong planet, and it became pretty challenging to grow up and how to relate to myself. All the things I felt and what I felt from others, and it was a challenge for me how to relate to myself and to others. But what really helped me during this time was journaling. I was writing a lot. That helped me to get the thoughts and the strange feelings out of my head, out of my body. And also at school, one of my favorite subjects was writing essays. And I was generally more interested in languages and math and biology. And so writing was one of the strengths I developed from a very young age. And another subject I really liked was geography. So I was very good about geography of the country I grew up, like I mentioned, Switzerland. But I was also very interested about other countries or cultures. And what I really loved was like looking into these atlases and all these beautiful maps from all over the world. And I imagined, how is it for other boys and girls of my age to grow up wherever they are, in the US or in Africa, in Australia or in Asia, where Eunjung grew up. And so, again, the imagination, in my imagination, I traveled to these different places and just imagined how it would be to live there. However, I didn't really think I would become the world traveler I am now, and having traveled by now to about 40 countries around the world over the past 80 years. And to come back to the writing, uh, yes, the essays, the journaling, which always helped me, but ultimately it led to the creation of this amazing book, which got published a year ago, Hawaiian Rebirth, and questions, stories, and strategies to guide you to your life's purpose. And before we started this recording, I opened the book again and looked at the quote I mentioned at the very beginning of the book, and it was Pablo Picasso who said, "The meaning of life is to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give it away." And so this is for me, as I grew up with these challenges and suffering physically, mentally, emotionally. For me, it was always very important to be there for others, to support others in whatever way, wherever they were, and just to be of service. And so I think giving away the gift, serving and helping others was always part of my life's journey.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's wonderful. And how we met was 8 years ago, and I wanted to have a spiritual relationship, and I had a sense or guidance that I will be meeting someone on Kauai. So in 2011, I made trip to Kauai from Colorado without really knowing that if I will be meeting this person or not. And so I arrived on Kauai on January 5. That's right, I got confused here. And then I didn't meet Eve until June
30th,
30th, yes.
half a year later.
Uh-huh. And that was a divinely synchronized event again. So when we follow our hearts, I know that we receive guidance step by step, and we need a courage to follow this guidance. A lot of people ask, "Oh, I like to get a insight and guidance," and then once they actually receive them, they don't do it. They don't follow the guidance. So I learned that when there is a guidance, I need to follow if I can. So on June 30th, we just crossed our ways in a coffee shop called Javakai on Kauai. and I was just sitting there working on something, and Eve dropped in and asked me if he knew a friend, this person's um, uh, just like. So how we met? It was 2011. I was guided to go to Kauai because I was asking for a spiritual partnership, and what I got was I will be meeting this person on Kauai. So on January 5, 2011, I arrived on Kauai. And when did you arrive?
January 6th. Just
And
one day later, I left from Switzerland on January 5, 2011. And this was to go back to Hawaii for the second time after I went to Hawaii for the first time in 2008.
So for the first 6 months, we didn't meet each other. And on June 30th, we came across each other in a coffee shop.
And it was at a pretty significant moment, I think, for both of us, but also on my journey. After I studied for half a year on the island of Kauai, present-centered awareness therapy and bodywork in a variety of healing modalities, I had 1 month left. And I wondered what would be the best to do with this remaining month. And so I asked Spirit in my meditations, asked my guides, what is the best I could do? And then I got very strong guidance starting from early June, and then really in mid-June it was clear that I should embark on a vision quest. And during this vision quest that I should travel over all the Hawaiian Islands you can travel to. So I left from Kauai, went to the Big Island and Maui, Lanai, Molokai, Oahu, and brought it to completion on Kauai at the magical Napali coast, the most beautiful area of all over Hawaii. And as I embarked on that journey, also with the intention and in a way the clarity I would meet my wife to be, of course, I crossed my way with Eunjung, and there was another element involved. As I got clearer and clearer and asked for more direction, I was really on a mission, and it was about to go to as many heiaus as possible as I travel over these islands. And heiau are these ancient Hawaiian temples. So these are sacred sites in nature. And I started to visit these places already back in 2008 when I was for the first time in Hawaii. But of course, I didn't know, as I had this initial short meeting with Eunjung, which just was for 5 minutes, because I had to hurry to the airport to catch my plane. I didn't know all the work Eunjung already had done before. And you, Eunjung, you mentioned about Egypt, that this was very significant for you back in 2007.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So we were saying that we were guided to go to Kauai. So a lot of people say that, oh, I need a guidance, I need the insights about what steps I need to take. And a lot of times when I was, giving, the guidance to other people related to their life's path, or how they can communicate with their guides or angels, and I tell them what they are actually trying to say to them. And once they receive this guidance, some people follow, but a lot of people, they just, oh no, it's not gonna happen, I don't think it's gonna happen, they don't follow it. So it's very important, once you receive guidance, you need to have a courage to follow the guidance you have received. Then the next step will be shown to you. So how we met was just like that. We didn't know we are gonna be in the future partners when we briefly saw each other on Kauai on June 30th. And after I actually left from Kauai in that summer of 2011, I was back in Korea, and I've been traveling a lot, so I needed a break from travel. And okay, I'm just gonna go back to Colorado, which was my home at the time, and I said I'm gonna stay here for a while. And then a friend of mine from London, she sent me a message that she bought a really amazing flat overlooking the Thames, and she invited me to come over and stay with her for a few days. So I said, okay, that sounds good. So I went over to London, and it was around autumn equinox, and I wanted to go to Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland. So I said, okay, I'm gonna combine this trip, and I'm gonna visit Rosslyn Chapel, and I will be doing some meditation at this site. And at the time, it was very last minute decision. So I said, okay, I'm gonna send some invitations to people I know in Europe, and I knew Eve was in Switzerland at the time because we kind of kept in touch after our initial meeting in Kauai. So he was one of the a few people. Maybe I sent invitation to 5, 6 people. And surprisingly, he was the only person who showed up at the Rosslyn Chapel on the autumn equinox, September 21st in 2011.
And there is, of course, a story to that. And this went back to when I lived and studied on Kauai. Eunjung was on the island, but we didn't meet at the point. But it was on March 31st, where my mentor and a dear friend of us, Howard Wills, prophesized me that I have to go to Rosalind Chapel. But at the point, I was not interested to leave. I just wanted to stay on Kauai and create my life there. So that was not on my list. So I asked Howard, yeah, where on Hawaii is this Rosalind Chapel? And he said, no, Hawaii, this is in Scotland. And I'm really telling that to you as a friend. Spirit is talking to me. I'm just a messenger here. You have to go to Rosalind Chapel, and you have to go this year. There is something waiting for you. And I've been there at this place before. This is related to the Knight Templars and the Vinci Code. I had no idea of any of this, but he said, you have to go there. There is something waiting for you. This is going to be very important for the work you're going to start doing from the year 2012. And 2012 was a pretty significant year. And so I had this in the back of my mind, forgot about it, and I was back in Switzerland. But I really noticed this is not the place I want to live anymore. So again, I asked for guidance. What should I do next? And as I asked, as you ask, you receive. And it was just after I started to ask, maybe 2 or 3 days later, where I received a message from Eunjung, who asked me, do you want to join me for Rosalind Chapel? And this is basically where our work together started, at this Rosalind Chapel in Scotland. Mm-hmm. The first sacred site, and a very significant one, where we started to do our work. Mm-hmm. Yes. And so that's the story, how a guy from Switzerland and this beautiful lady from Korea, how we met. And it was in Hawaii, and Hawaii was also the place. It was back when I was there for the first time 3 years earlier, 2008, where I had my, what I would say, initial awakening, where I woke up to an entirely new reality and was guided on this new path. Mm-hmm. So that's a little bit about the story, who we are and how we got guided together, and how we became part now of this Awake TV network. And of course, we also want to share with you what you can experience with us, what we're going to share with you over this course of the next 12 weeks. And we call it clear center, create in the
New earth.
yes. And why this concept of clear, center, and create? So, and briefly want to mention here uh, around this initial awakening experience I had. Before I had it, it was a Hawaiian healer who helped me, and he asked me two questions. And I also want to invite you to ponder just for a moment what your response would have been to that question. So, as he prepared the space somewhere in an opening in the tropical forest above Honolulu on Oahu in Hawaii, he asked me to think about the following two questions. Number one, what do you want to release? What do you want to let go of? And number two, what do you want to get instead? So just think about this for a moment. What is it you want to release? What do you want to leave behind you in your life, whatever it is? Just think about this just for a moment. And now, also ask yourself the question, what do you want to receive? Because as you let go, there is a vacuum, an open space where new things, new guidance can come in. So what is it for you? What would you, for yourself, as you go on this journey in this Awake TV network with Eunjung and I, or also joining teachings from the other teachers, or what do you want to experience? What do you want to create in that space? And this is basically the foundation, how this clear, center, and create came to be. And we have been teaching based on this concept for many years now.
Yes, in order to create, you first need to clear whatever no longer serves you, whether it's energetics, it's emotional or mental or habits or other obstacles or any other energetic blockages. We need to clear and release. And then we need to center in our heart, center
Right
in our being, so that we can connect to our highest source, whether you call it God or divine light or your higher self, and center in the earth. Connection, that is very important. We connect. And then you
to be connected with the earth, but also with the universe. And as you do that, you start to realize you're not separate from all this creation. You're a part of this creation, and that creation itself is being expressed through you, as long you allow it to happen, as long you are not blocking it off.
Yes.
And then you are being guided the way Eunjung and I have been guided on our path. And so that's basically the foundation. So clear, center, create in the new earth. So now what is this? We talked about the clearing, the centering, and the creation. So what is this new earth?
New earth?
Yes.
New earth is the reality that we want to live in. Yes, we are bombarded by news of tragedy, unfairness, war and violence, and it's constantly these days. And when I hear that, when I focus on this tragedy and this unfairness and people suffering, I feel sad and depressed.
Disempowered.
So in that space, if we are feeling depressed and sad and powerless, then we cannot make any changes. We need to have new vision and conviction that we can make changes, and we can do that by lifting, shifting our vibrations, by focusing on what we really, really want and take action on it. So that's the new earth, is where we come and take action based on our highest visions. And we keep focusing on it. And we share how we can make a difference with others. We first make the change within ourselves, and we also share the energies of upliftment and higher vibrations of love, peace, joy, and harmony with people or animals and all living beings. And then you start to see this world around you differently, because this wonderful world that you so wanting to be part of is already existing. It's about shifting our vibration, shifting and expanding our awareness. Depending on where our vibration, the focus is, what we are going to experience will be completely shifted and changed. So each week we will focus one aspect, either clear or center or create. So we will repeat that 4 times. And we will be connecting with you from different parts of the world, because we will be traveling in the next 12 weeks. So we will start actually from Colorado,
where we are speaking right now. And then we will be, the next 3 weeks, we will be sharing from our home island, Kauai. And then next,
and then we will be traveling to Egypt.
Egypt again.
Yes, we are actually leading a group journey to Egypt. So we will be in Egypt for about 3 weeks. So we will be broadcasting the show from Egypt. After that, we are moving to...
In the new year, we are going to be moving to another one of our favorite countries. Very, very spiritual, fantastic in so many ways as well, going back to India. So we're gonna share and transmit our course from India, also probably for about 3 weeks. And then after India, we're gonna move on, and we are going to
my home country, my birth country, South Korea. So we will be speaking from there, maybe 1 or 2 weeks toward the end.
And then probably, a lot of things can happen as we are being guided, and we'll have these experiences. We might be back on our home island of Kauai towards the end of this 12 weeks course. And so for us, honestly, when we got asked if we would like to participate and teach here on the Awake TV network, we were a little bit doubtful how we gonna make that happen, knowing our travel schedule. Are we gonna have internet everywhere? But again, what it is, our hearts are saying yes to this, and I think it's just an exciting journey, and I think it's really, really special for us to have the opportunity to share, to teach, right from all these experiences we're gonna have from these different parts of the world. And I think by following our course, our journey over this 12 weeks, you're really gonna have an experience of, that we are, what we said in the very beginning of this video, that we are all connected with each other. And ultimately, as you travel, you really start to see there are way less differences between the nations and the cultures, and that ultimately all of us human beings and the animals and the spirits, that we are all longing for this harmony and this peace, and that we really want to experience, when we talk about this new earth, that we really want to experience heaven on earth, and that we can bridge heaven and earth. And there is a variety of ways how we intend to do that, to lead you through this 12 weeks. So what are some of the things we're going to work with as we travel with you over this 12 weeks, literally around the world?
When we go to sacred sites, the land, the earth teaches us. there is a wisdom that is given to us when you become silent, and when you sit with the land, when you sit with the tree, when you sit with the sea turtle on Hawaii. They are sentient beings, and they have a messages, and that we can listen through the heart. So that's my gift, which is a feeling or listening, sensing, receiving, and interpreting the messages that are given from this multidimensional world, multidimensional realms, because they all have energetic patterns, and we perceive things differently. Everybody has a different way of receiving the information, and when we are in a very powerful vortex size, the energies that are transmitted are incredible, and that shifts you, that transforms you. And I'm sure, when we speak about these places, you will also feel and receive these transmissions. And we have met amazing beings, portrayed or represented by a tree or a rock, or some temple sites in Egypt. We've been to many temple sites. Our favorite thing to do is doing meditations and pray at temples, whether it's nature temples or man-made ancient temples. They carry very sacred, powerful ancient codes that awaken your soul language that you can understand. So it will help you further your evolution on this planet. So we will share the stories, and I will be doing channeling,
show pictures,
pictures,
maybe short
yes.
videos, if we can.
Yes, and we will do meditations together, and it will lead.
Also some prayers. Prayer is, Eunjung mentioned prayers, so we're gonna really look different prayers, just for yourself or for the world, for the nature, with a lot of focus also on forgiveness and peacemaking. And that's, as we're looking into the clear, center create, that's a very powerful way how we can clear ourselves, but also how we can create life into a beautiful, harmonious, peaceful, balanced way. So working with prayers. We also gonna work with our crystals. These two crystals have been traveling with us from the beginning. And of course also sharing some contents out of my book, The Hawaiian Rivers. Just as an example, here is a Wheel of Life. That's a wonderful tool which gives you an overview of the different areas of your life, because when we are feeling challenged, there's obstacles, why is it not happening? Most of the time we forget that we are actually doing pretty well in other areas of our lives. Usually it's if you're saying like 10 areas of our lives, we have a major challenge in one area of our life, which affects maybe 2 or 3 others, but so many times we forget there are 6 or 7 areas in our lives we are doing pretty well. So that's a great reminder, and that's just one, was just an example I wanted to share. So contents, we're gonna work with some of the questions from the book, asking questions which really help you to get very clear about what you want to experience, how you can change the direction of the life, then share some proven strategies, tools, techniques, what you can do, and of course sharing stories. And most importantly, an intention we have is really that you can take action, immediate action on what you just learned, what you just experienced week by week. And so one of our intentions is also to give you a little bit of to practice upon until the next week. And if then there are questions or anything, of course you can ask us the questions, we can answer it throughout the course. And if it's technically possible, of course we also want to do live interact with you, so have questions and answer sessions as well. And one part we also want to do every time, sharing different breathing techniques. That's a very important aspect of our work, because breathing really brings you very quickly into the present moment. So these are some of the things we're going to share. I also have a background as a yoga nidra teacher, so probably also gonna, wherever it will fit in, to clear or to find the center or to go to create, sometimes I intend also to share some yoga nidra practices. It's a very, very amazing way to restore your being and to find back to balance and ultimately re-experience the sense of peace within. And yeah, these are some of the things we're gonna share with you as we're gonna travel with you over the next 12 weeks.
So these are the outlines, and maybe there will be some surprises too,
Yeah.
depending on where we are and how the energy is.
That's our plan for now, but as we know, sometimes spirit has some different plans for us. And
Yes.
and as we mentioned, as we're gonna go to the sacred sites, we also want to find ways that you, wherever you are, you cannot maybe not travel to Egypt or to India, but if you have a certain calling to go to a sacred site, also to bring whatever you would like to bring to one of the sacred sites, and to include you, your wishes, your desires as a part of the ceremonies, meditations we will lead.
Yes. So so this is our introduction video, and we want to give you some taste of what you will be experiencing. So I will be leading a short visualization meditation. It's not regular meditation. Usually meditation is emptying your mind, but the way I lead is giving you the guidance, guiding you to visualize so that you can enter into your multidimensional selves, that reality where you can experience yourself as a multidimensional being. So you can follow along, and Eve will also share some breathing exercises first. Yes.
So for now, this was a lot of information. So just now close your eyes and just make yourself as comfortable as you can right now. And as you close your eyes, I mentioned these two questions. What do you want to let go of? And what would you like to receive instead? And if it was maybe difficult to find an initial answer, just bring your awareness now to your breath. And you don't need to breathe in a particular way at this point. Just be aware of how you are breathing in this moment. Maybe you're breathing shallow, maybe it's deeply. Doesn't matter, it's just to be aware, to become aware increasingly of your breath. As you're breathing in, and as you're breathing out. And maybe every time you're breathing out, you can focus on what you want to let go of, what you want to release, what you want to clear. And as you're breathing in, this is where you receive new life force, new healing, new energy for your body. So just keep breathing here, maybe for 1 minute of silence. Just pay attention to your breath. And just stay with your breath as you breathe in and out. Releasing and receiving. And now with each and every breath, start to focus more and more on your heart space. So breathing in to your heart and breathing out of your heart space again. And you don't need to actively breathe, just let the breathing happen by itself. As you keep focusing on your heart space. And now just start to breathe out a little bit longer compared to how you're breathing in. And if that's challenging, maybe what can help you is to count. So maybe you can breathe in on the count of 4, in silence, counting as you breathe in, counting on 4. Now as you breathe out, counting on 6. Breathing again on 4. Breathing out on 6. Just in your own pace, a couple of more breaths, and traveling deeper and deeper into your heart space. Just pay attention how you feel within your body, how you feel the energy, maybe one arm length out around your body. Just the energy in the room you're sitting in. There's just nothing to do about it, just become aware. This moment, right here, right now.
So continue to focus on your heart. Just imagine there is a bright golden light inside of your heart. As you keep focusing on your heart space, this golden light starts to shift slightly. It becomes a swirling light, and it is changing to a golden rose. Now imagine that you yourself is going to drop into the heart of this golden rose. Although you are sitting or laying down, you make yourself small enough so that you can drop into the center of this golden rose and receive the highest frequencies of love and illumination emanating from this golden rose. The golden rose represents your higher self, your source, which is always inside of you, connected with you, with your essence. So now you are giving yourself permission to be fully embraced by your highest essence. Just you may feel tingling around your body, or you feel ecstasy or bliss, or you may even feeling some sadness rising up because you wanted to have this deep connection with your essence. So just imagine this golden light traveling into every part of your being, every part of your cell, awakening that divine light within you. And you feel lighter, you feel free. And just imagine that this golden light traveling all around your being, activating, maybe also help you heal if there is any illness or discomfort in your physical, emotional, spiritual, mental bodies. It will make yourself whole. Just imagine. Just receive this wholeness. Just receive this divine love, perfection. You may feel warmth, or you may feel different sensations in different parts of your body, or you may see some visions. So when you feel that you are completely embraced and connected and surrendered in this immense feeling of peace and love, you imagine yourself emerging out of this golden rose. Just imagine how you look now. You are coming out of this golden rose. Maybe genie coming out of this little bottle. It's completely transformed, maybe. You see, imagine how you look now when you are coming out of the golden rose. And slowly be back where you were, either sitting or laying down. And this golden light, this golden rose is still inside of your heart. Just remember this feeling of oneness and acceptance and peace, your essence. Take a deep breath slowly in and out. And be in this space a little bit. Appreciating who you are and who you can be and who you are destined to be in this new earth. Alaki shalakaramaraki alaku, ehalaki shiniki alamaraka, ehalaki alaki shiniki ala. Heya lakasana kalamaraki, ulaki shiniki alamaraka. Ehulaki alakasa, lakala marakini ki alamaraki. You are deeply loved, always. You can slowly open your eyes if you can. And just feel your body now. Sense your body, how it feels.
And again, the three I mentioned earlier. How do you feel now within your body? How you feel around your body? And how you feel the space you're in. And maybe not just the room, you're in the physical space, but the collective space, all of us watching, being part of this video, are in this common space. How does that feel?
So we are happy to continue this journey with you in the next 12 weeks. And we also have a live broadcast on November 11 at 11 Mountain Time. So we love to have you join us again. We will have a longer activation, transmission messages, and some energetic exercises to help you really receive and ground these powerful energies coming through on this 11/11 portal. And if you join this Awake TV network, you will also receive a lot of support that you may appreciate and enjoy. And if you want to visit our website, Yves' website is
yvesnager.com. That's YVESNAGER.com.
And my website is currently being recreated. It will be centeredness.com. And also you can visit us in our Facebook pages.
And don't forget to mention you have a web page about the upcoming journey to Egypt.
Yes, we have Journey to Egypt in December, and I know it's a very soon. It's coming up very soon. But if you would like to join us, visit the website sacredsouladventuresegypt.com. And we will share a lot more multi-dimensional activations and insights and how you can create in this new earth together in the next 12 weeks. So thank you for joining.
And before we end,
yes,
I want to share or show something, because I went to the fridge to drink that we can talk, and in the fridge I saw this pineapple. And how does this pineapple look from outside? We sometimes really what we think who we are, I'm this, I'm that, all these different parts, but in a way I feel like I'm separate from this or this. And what this represents to me is the connection to the cosmos, to the universe we are. At the bottom, that's a connection to the earth. And so this is kind of what we think who we are. And but once you cut open this pineapple, look how it looks like. Let's get this out of here. To me it looks like a sun. And so as you reconnect to this part in the middle, the core, the essence of who you truly are, and start to open it up, you start to shine like a sun. And so that was just a realization just before we went on that call, and I really wanted to share that. So as we travel over this 12 weeks from this pineapple, symbolically who we think as we are, separated and different parts, we're really gonna travel and let this sun shine individually as a collective, and start to shine this light to this world, because it's so very needed right now. So thank you for allowing me to show this pineapple.
Okay, so aloha, and
Aloha.
have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are.
And see you soon again.
See you soon.
Aloha.
Aloha.